Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. PSR is excited to present to you Last Call, featuring your boy, the Pimp Slap P.O.D., Mike M.
Pimpin' ain't easy, but it's fun like money. Got bookies on the run, now it's time to get money. Not the typical way to ball. It's last call like some convicts waiting on the next draw. You can feel the tension. Did I mention? Fools better pay attention, cause we getting paid like a pension. T's on the ones and twos, we not the ones that lose. Mike, money's killers might even make the even news.
And now, let's get to the picks.
We be pumping! Buzz Sports Radio, you know we be pumping!
What up? What up? What up? Let's go. It's Last Call, Pub Sports Radio. You already know what we're doing up in this piece here. We're going to try to get that cash tonight, cashing some tickets, trying to navigate this minefield that is this injury report with the NBA. Normally, you guys know it doesn't faze me, but tonight, a couple of last-minute snafus that kind of changed up where I wanted to focus my action on the card. So we'll share all that stuff tonight, but welcome in to Last Call. And we banged it up last night. Shout out to our boy Billy Briz right off the top of the show here. I'll give him the recognition with a 4-1 night out of our guy out there. Almost had the board sweep, but Boise State just did not want to come and play. That's okay, though. It was a 4-1 spot for our guy, stacking more units. And we got a guy that's stacking units tonight as well, LJ from H-Town. I think he earned that nickname the last time he was on the show, LJ from Goat Town. So here we go with our boy tonight's going to try to give us that cash and walk us through his NBA card. Interesting little NBA card tonight. You know, interesting slate as a whole. We had 3 hockey games. We're down to 2. Sabres game got postponed. They're supposed to catch another 2 feet of snow up there. So I hope they're all safe and sound, but they canceled or postponed that NHL game out there, leaving us with just 2 spots. College basketball gave out a big show today with our guy, Jimmy the Bag, early today. Circled back through to try to find a couple of additional spots to play on. So we'll be sharing some of those looks with you guys as well. And then the NBA, going to have some fun. We got a same game parlay. We're going to bring our guy LJ in, as I mentioned. He's going to go through props, sides, totals, give his breakdown. He's going to go through the card, but he'll share his best looks as well with everybody because you know what LJ does. He stacks cash, baby. Shout out everybody that's rocking with us here up and early. Again, the gold memberships are a-flying with our new tier of membership with the boys and that crew over at Pub Sports Radio. The gang is golden. I was going to say greening up. The gang is golden up here. Nasty Nate, Saturated, Big Show, Daddy Cab, Joseph Thompson, Billy Friedrich, Ricky Levine, Chris Bogan, Chosen One, and Connor Mack Picks, all getting them elevated memberships right now. And that's what it's all about here. New things are working in the mix here with Pub Sports. We told you. We're just getting better. We're just giving you guys more. What do you think? We were joking? It's all about giving you guys more tools, more techniques, more opportunities to stack cash, more member-only perks. All of it's rolling down the pike with Pub Sports Radio. And it's because of you guys coming in on the daily, showing your support, showing your love, contributing your plays in the chat, making your donos, and everything else that helps keep this well-oiled machine grinding away. So appreciate all you guys that got the gold. Ian Shavers out there says, "What up, you filthy animals?" Ian's our guy. He's good. He's ready to rock. The Futon Bets likes the Creighton money line. Not mad at that play whatsoever. Futon Bets 6.5 have dropped to 6. This card, I don't know if it's just today. I don't know why it's today that I've maybe noticed it more. Maybe it's because there's fewer other spots and more to kind of focus on. But lines are dropping all over the place. So definitely like that Creighton money line spot. Ian Shavers is running the grader all damn day. Missed the entire pre-flop cap boots and jeans, keeping the lights on for America. Our guy, let's go. Appreciate you, Ian Chamber. The Futon Bets says for America UAB money line out there for our guy Futon Bets. And Director 97's in the house. What up, Director 97? I know my guy cashed with us on that Penn State play yesterday. So Director's in the house. 2 bets so far. He likes Furman minus 15 at 6 p.m. So that one's really just launching off the gates here. And then he's going Navy money line at 7 p.m. So appreciate our guys sharing some of those early looks. Ian Shaver says the Futon Bets. I like Tulane fade out there. Good spot to fade them green wave. And there's my homie Wine Time Sports. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming in. Ian Shaver says I might tail that. Futon Bets, he says he hit the first half -1. So you boys are already rocking and flying with these 6 p.m. games. I love it. Love to see this action rocking through here Jay Smooth says, let's get it, money. Mike, you know we're going to get it tonight, Jay Smooth. We got the guy coming in here. The guy from Goat Town, baby. Wine time. Justin McGalvey out there rocking, my homie Justin. Perky Sanderson, what's up? He says, let's ride. My homie's rocking with us tonight as well. You guys are great, man. Appreciate everybody coming in early. Gerald Jones says, what's good, pubbing, low bagging fam? What's good, man, is stacking that cash. We got some units last night. Excited to go through the recap with you guys. But we got to move forward. We got a new day ahead of us. So looking forward to breaking down the card together. Justin McCalvey says, can't give out stacks due to line movement. Cavs +4. I was just talking about that, Justin. I'm on the Cavs as well at +4, but at -1, this is the thing about these injuries here. It's the exact opposite, in my opinion, of what you think would happen, right? So the +4 kind of indicated there might be a problem with Giannis to begin with. Now they move it down 5 more points against, and now making the Cavs a favorite. And I think that's too many points. I think this is the situation where the public's going to see it. They're going to steam it. The Cavs are going to probably end up 2.5 by tip-off. And it's going to be one of those games where, shit, now I think my +4 is in question. You wouldn't think that with the star being out of the game, but that's the way the NBA is nowadays. And things you got to be concerned with. It's not about whether you want to play it because the player's in. It's, do you want to play it with the player being out? And if that makes sense. So anyhow, Ian Shaver says, let's go, Justin. Perky Bumps likes that Wofford spot with the money line tonight from our guy Perky. Skiing them slopes on the reg. Appreciate my guy Perky Bumps rocking with the play for us in the chat. Futon Bet says, Ian, I'm taking money line and we will cash tonight. I love the confidence out there. What up, Big Scott 510 says, what's good, Mike? Let's get this cash tonight. He's on the Mavs +4. Northern Iowa money line. Arizona State -3. Pelicans first half over 59.5. You know what? I like that Pelicans first half over 59.5. We'll make sure to touch on that and kind of where my angle was on that side of things. Not something that I played, but I like the addition. That might make the card for me. So appreciate you sharing, Big Scott 510. And shout out while I'm giving them out there to our guy, Nut Flush Allen. Got me on that Ottawa team total. I think it was a group consensus, a group effort. But Nut Flush Allen talking about that Ottawa Senators team total over. And there's another example, right? We talk about the Avs. They're putting their rookie in, and it's going to be dangerous. And the Avs came out there and kicked some ass. They ended up putting up 4 goals in that third period to get the job done. So. Shout out to our guy Nutflush and crew for getting me on that Ottawa team total over at a nice little plus. I think I got +105. That was one of those things where I was trying to use all my hands and fingers to get this thing done and get these plays out there while we were going through the show. So Billy Briz was narrating for me while I was putting a live bet in on the fly to get that in for that 7:00 start. So that was great to see. Arthur Mead Jr., what's up, my guy? Says, thanks so much for leading me to Penn State. I hit the money line. What do we say, right? That was that spot where you look at that margin. This is why you say what you will about the trends, but the margins are the factors that come into play with this thing, where you can see when you put those numbers together, makes a ton of sense that was a good money line spot. So shout out to you. Congrats, Arthur Mead, on cashing that money, my guy. Darrell Jones says Murray State money line. Robert Morris, and 8.5. Just keep thinking Detroit's terrible, man. I was saying that to our guy Jimmy the Bag earlier today. I was like, man, Detroit's just garbage. They're just hot garbage right now. What up, AUD? Good to see you, my guy. Appreciate you rocking with us tonight. Fletcher Berry says, let's go, Mike. Where do you find all those crazy trends you throw out? Just wondering if there's a golden site. Are those stats you recorded? It's a combination, Fletcher Berry. I've been doing this a long time now. And it's a combination of, networking in the industry. Can't say enough about networking in the industry. We've got our Pub Sports crew, but you got to tap into those around you too that do some of that heavy lifting. And, you got to take time to figure out who's the guys that are good at it and who are the guys that are kind of pretending, and whittle that list down over time. But you got to cast the net and bring them in. Lots of different spots to work with to try to get those trends. So, I always try to bring them to you guys, just the originals, the creative ones out there, because you hear a lot of this, it's the third game in a row and the teams won their last 3. That's just not enough. We need to have another filter on there to kind of point us in that right direction. Hey, look at that Arizona game last night. Shout out to the gang over there. We were doing a little late night live stream, and we talked about, the over didn't hit. So I'm going to clearly take that L. But we talked about the Arizona spot. Arizona, after a game where they've taken 20 or more hits, so they had a physically challenging game, drains the legs, plus 900 comes through in a live spot. And we cashed a nice little live money spot with that Calgary Flames after they were down 2-0 going into that third period. That's probably the worst lead in hockey. What up? The Chillis is out there rocking. He says Florida State plus 5.5 and the money line versus Miami. 94% of the cash on Miami, and the line moves from 6.5 to 5.5. I saw that. That's another one of those games where I wanted to hammer on Miami and just beat down Florida State. Just can't get there. I can't pull the trigger, and I'm not convicted enough to go the other way. So it's something I got to just maybe watch live here. Caddy Daddy says, hit the like button. You jabronis. Appreciate it, Caddy Daddy. Thanks for rocking. What up, Truth Teller? Markel, Christoph's out there. I can't read that. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's Turkish. I'm not sure, but hey, man, thanks for coming out there. Our guy, Christoph. Truth Teller says, I only got 14 bets in. Eek. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way today. I was like, man, I got to start putting some action together. When you see this at Mike, quick thoughts on Texas State. I'm not sure I have I'll scroll through and I'll keep my eyes on that, Markel. I'll see what we have out there. I didn't look at that game specifically, but we'll see how it navigates as I multitask. And then Julian Cesario's out there. What up? He says, what up, fam? Let's get it. Nunya Swizz says we be pubbing. Deshaun G likes the East Carolina money line. Love that play myself out there. Another situation with line movement down from 5.5 to 3.5. We'll take that home dog and give it a whack. Why not? Let's go. Let's keep it rocking. Nunya, Wine Time. Wine Time's laying his card out there for us out there. Let's put that on the screen there. He's got a few of them loaded up. We know my boy kills it in college. LSU -3, Rutgers -3, Northern Iowa. I didn't look at that Northern Iowa game. Seeing a couple of you guys on it, I might have to circle back. He likes the Hawks -4. Mikal Bridges over 24.5 points. LBJ over 26.5 points. Loaded card tonight. Love to see it, my guy. Wine Time. Lots of luck on your action, my guy. True Teller says he hopes it's a night of dogs. Me too, True Teller. That's what I'm going to say as a sneak peek to the card here. And hopefully LJ can give me that confidence I need to feel better about what I've laid out there. Subhuman Gaucho, what up? He says, what up, Mikey Money? Let's pimp slap these whole ass bucks. You got it, my guy. Let's do it. Let's get it rocking here. We got a lot to cover. Joseph Thompson, want to make sure we cover my guy's play out there. He's been firing. He's got that Davidson Fordham over 142.5 for our guy, Joseph Thompson. Appreciate you sharing. True Teller says, I got Cavs +4.5 and +2 first half. Now it's in jeopardy, ? Yeah, so that's my feeling with these. True Teller, I say it all the time. I could care less about these injuries, but in a situation where the big guy comes out, now the Cavs become a favorite. We just lost 5.5 points. In my estimation, the books probably already factored a middle ground in the spot here with Giannis coming out. So they expected him to be coming out. That's why it was 4.5. Now they've dropped it 5 more points. I feel like that's just too many points now to be factoring in for a guy. I know Giannis, he's a superstar. There's no question he's stellar out there, but it concerns me. So I have force up and down. So I'm just not going to give that out as an official now at the -1 because that line's just moved too much. And you know what? Could the Cavs come out and win this game and beat them up and make me look crazy? Sure. That wouldn't be the first time that I've looked stupid like that, but I'm not going to come out there and give you guys a 5 when I think it's a suspect number to begin with. So, I just kind of look at that and think they know ahead of time. They factored it into the equation. And now this last minute public notice steam chases everybody into the other direction. So we'll see. We'll see how that game plays out. Our guy Julian likes Rutgers money line, LSU -2, Vatek +4, Providence -9. I wanted to take Providence, but they've been bad to me. So anyhow, True Teller says Cavs a favorite now and are more likely to lose. Yeah, True Teller, that's this game, dude. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, but more often than not, there's already a factor in that line of the player being potentially questionable. The books can't come out there and have a 12-point swing because somebody might have caught the inside that Giannis isn't playing. So they kind of middle ground themselves. They already kind of hedged their number ahead of time based on these injury reports. And then when the news comes out, by the time the public catches it, you've already missed the best number that could be out there. But hey, +4.5, not bad. Not mad at that. I got +4. I'm not going to cancel my +4. I'm going to rock with it. Joseph Thompson says, hey, Mike M, thanks for the Dallas Stars. I took the -1. Thanks for whoever said Ottawa Senators team total. That's what we're doing. We're working together, you guys. Fernando Mendoza says, what's good, Mike? Cashed that Rangers puck line yesterday. That was a nice little casher, my guy, Fernando. Let's rock, my dude. Let's go. Nunya, putting it on UT Chattanooga first half, full game money lines on a parlay. Interesting spot there for our guy. Nunya, Perky rocking. Gerald Jones in the house is 5.5 in football and basketball books don't know what to do with the line, I think is what he's saying out there. I agree. I think those are kind of those numbers where, I'd rather see it more or less for me to get that indication. So anyhow, Joseph Thompson says Markel, he likes the over in that game. I think he's talking about the Texas State game. Morgan Spooner in the house. What up? Says, what's everyone love? Creighton plus 6.5. I love Creighton plus 6.5. You're going to be the number one team in the nation. You're going to take a big target on your back. We got to rock. There's our girl Kelly V out here. Says under 128 in the UCLA game. UCLA 14-3 to the under. West Virginia plus less points for plus money. Plus 580. Sprinkle the money line out there. Let's go. Nanya Samford hit yesterday. Plus 110 money line dogs, and they lead the conference. LMAO. Morgan Spooner likes Texas Tech plus 13. Gerald Jones has capped that UCLA under as well. It looks like you guys are making it happen. Hopefully that makes sense, True Teller. I'm trying to rapid fire and give you guys the recognition, share your plays out there. But, I just think it's, how much is the player worth to the line is the ultimate question. And did we see it in the onslaught of that game by the fact that it was a +4? So listen, we got a lot of work to do. We got our guy rocking out there. I know he's grinding and getting ready to give us that hustle. So, before we get there, you guys know what we got to do. First and foremost, look, we need you to smash that like button. Help us out. We had a monster number of like buttons yesterday. I appreciate all you guys taking the time to do it. We're triple digits deep out there. No reason we shouldn't be triple digits deep in the likes. Our guest here, LJ, putting the hard work in to give you guys them winners in the NBA. We got NHL and college basketball as well. Show the love, show the appreciation, show the fact that you're cashing with us and hit that like button. We ask you to do 3 things. You guys know the deal. Hit the like button. Get that pen and paper out. We got lots of plays flying around here. Our chat continues to get sharper by the day. Shout out to all you guys putting your early plays in there for everybody to get on board with already. If you haven't seen them and you're just logging in, scroll on up. These guys are killing it on the daily. And then last but not least, share your plays in the chat. Help everybody get paid with your hard work. And we certainly appreciate it when you take the opportunity. I'll do my best to recognize all you guys putting it out there and sharing them looks. And then love to get the messages afterwards when we talk back and forth. Either you guys cashed on one of my plays or I cashed on one of your plays. That's what makes this fun, right? Winning's fun. It's contagious too. So great. A lot of good electricity in the air. Let's go through this thing though. You guys know first and foremost, we got to run down this recap. We got to move quickly too, because we've got a nice big NBA card to bust into. But I'll just share, transparency. I've got one hockey play, one college basketball play, and then we're going to bring our homie on, LJ from H-Town. LJ from Goat Town. I like that one better myself. But let's go here. We had a 7-4 day. We got them units back after that tough Monday. So, that was the important thing. We had a strong last week. We finished almost plus 15 units, gave a few of them back on Monday. But we were able to rally, and that's what it's all about. It's just not letting those streaks build up, right? We don't want to go into the red too many days in a row. So we cashed that Ducks under 6. That was a no sweater. I think the final score was 2-0 in that game. The Calgary Flames over 6, wrong side of that one. Look, it was a 3-2 final. I was on that live stream. I said, let's take the over. It was like 3.5, at a 2-0 spot. So definitely some opportunities to go. Arizona continues to struggle after a physical game. Their legs died out in that third period. We saw that, but we cashed the Dallas money line spot. We cashed the Jets -1 spot. Big deal with our boy coming back there in that lineup. We also cashed that Jets first period over 1.5. I'll tell you what, I didn't hear anybody saying Jets first period over 1.5. It's the Islanders. They don't score a lot of goals in the first period. Bullshit. They do on the road when they're an away dog. They do. Remember that one. Mark it down going forward. New York Islanders is a road dog. Lots of goals in those first periods. We got that Penn State plus 5.5. We did take an L on the Iowa State 4.5 spot. That stunk. They weren't ever really caught back up and within the number. And the same thing about Boise -5. Philly, on the other hand, got the job done. They also put a debate, the debate to bed there, resting the Embiid versus Joker debate out there. Joker, that selfish son of a bitch, got a ton of points, but couldn't get the 8.5 assists. And we see what happens out there. You don't get them assists, your team's going to struggle down the stretch. Embiid comfortably covered his number. I know our guy Billy Briz was on the over 3 to 3.5 points. And you know what? We didn't cash that parlay. It would have been nice at 315. But shout out to them Suns with that monster fourth quarter comeback. Gave us that plus 150 money. We got the Suns and the Nurkic over 2.5 assist spot at a nice plus 150. So that's how you roll a 7-4 day up and smoke it to the head. And that, in fact, we did. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun last night. Nice little card out there. But we've got ourselves a card tonight. And let's dig in. We're going to move quick. We got to keep a brisk pace. You guys, make sure if you're just getting in, you do smash that like button for us. Show the appreciation on what we're trying to do out here for you guys and ourselves. Frankly, nobody's bankroll matters more than mine. But at the end of the day, I want to see you guys cash in with us as well. So no reason we can't all green up on this thing. So let's look at this game here in the NHL. Again, they canceled that Sabres game on us, predicting a big snowstorm coming up there, another 2 feet potentially on the situation. We've got a Canadiens and Devils matchup at 7 p.m. Eastern. And really, it's one of the only looks I have on this card. I was looking at that Panthers and Red Wings game, but, kind of start with what I don't like first. I don't like laying a minus 200 for a Panthers team where the Red Wings have been kind of laying in the weeds and find a way to put goals in the net. I kind of looked at all these games tonight and thought unders were a strong lean, but of the two that are left on the deck tonight, the biggest one I like the most here is the New Jersey Devils and Canadian spot. We've got the under 6.5 is minus 105 in this opportunity. So it's a low juice situation for us. And what I like about this situation is the New Jersey Devils, bleeding goals early in the season. And what do? They went to the well. They tapped in the lefty there. They brought in the rookie, and he's been nothing short of performing well right now. We've got Nico Daws. He's 3-2, but he's a .263 goals against average with a 92.1 save percentage out there. So kind of plug the gap. They were working on their defense, trying to figure out a way to get these pucks to stay out of the net. On the other side of things, you got Montreal's ace going in there in Monteval, and he's 9-6-4 with a 90.9% save percentage. So, at the end of the day, it's Monteval's third start in a row, 6-8. They're going to the hot hand. He had a huge performance. They took the L against Edmonton, but it was a 2-1 final. He made 39 saves on 41 shots, Monteval. He's 2-2 in his last 4, but he's let 3 or less goals in each of those games. So definitely a guy that's been stepping up and performing above his back of his baseball card, if you will. On the other side of things, we've got Nico Daws, his third start in a row. 4 games with 3 or less goals in his last 5 as well. The Canadiens 1-1-2 because they're not really finding a way to score goals. They did put 4 in there and win on Colorado 4-3, but that was the end of a 3-game homestand for them. Prior to that, they were on the road against Philly. They only scored 2. They only scored 2 against San Jose. They only got 1 against Edmonton with that stellar performance out of Monteval. Pucks aren't going in the net for them. On the other side of things, the Devils trying to plug the gap. Again, going back to their guy Dawes, who's been the filler in there. And last but not least, I'll give you guys this one. I track these teams. I do. Next up, Columbus. If you're in a home game, you're off a loss. You're 3-15 to the under. The average score 2.5 to 2.9 in that 3-15 trend. New Jersey's been in that situation twice this season. Both games comfortably went under. I think one was 4-1. The other one was 3-2. So we're seeing that 5 average in those spots out there. I'm going to rock this this New Jersey under 6.5. Like I said, it's a small NHL card. I wish I could find a way to squeeze some more out of this thing, but I don't want to force the action. You guys know I like to play as a volume better, but at this point, minus 105, New Jersey Devils, only official hockey play I can go live with for you guys. And, that's all I got to say about that. So hopefully you guys are going to tail me on that thing and we're going to get that cash, but let's roll. Let's keep it moving. Again, brisk pace, our guys ready to unload. And I don't want to get in the way of this guy trying to make his cash. And I don't want to get in the way of him giving you an opportunity to get that cash. So, look, college basketball card. I gave out 5 plays on Jimmy the Bag Show today. I told you guys before, I want to keep it fresh. I don't want to come back here and say, the same plays over again. I shared a couple of thoughts that I had on some of these spots. Big spot that I shared earlier today that I like is that Arizona State spot as well. It's a rebound revenge spot for, Arizona State when they're playing the same team and you're at a home or neutral court in that revenge spot from the Pac-12. You're 28-2-1 against the spread in those spots. So conference revenge, Pac-12, home or neutral courts, 28-2-1. I love that Arizona bounce back spot. They kind of had a snubbing there with Washington to start that game. They shot poorly, and they finished the game poorly. So I do like that spot. But the spot that I'm going to give you guys for college hoops tonight is I'm going to look at this Youngstown State Oakland opportunity. And, here's another one of those games where the numbers have been moving. Here it goes again. So Youngstown State, this line opens up at plus 3.5. 55% of the bets and 79% of the cash on Youngstown State. Everybody likes this road dog. Hasn't moved. It's literally a frozen line at 3.5. So, a red flag. There's some people I mentioned earlier. You guys were asking about some of these trends. When you see some of these guys on Twitter and they're popping out plays, I saw somebody giving out Youngstown State at +4. The line's not +4, and they gave it at -105. where the fuck did you find a +4 at -105? That's the kiss of death on some of these plays. So at least that's my editorial when it comes to these guys. They didn't find that. If they could have, I would have found that line if I could have seen a +4, and you bet your asses I'd have come and given it to you guys. So, that concerns me about this Youngstown State spot, and the fact that the line hasn't moved is just another red flag. But I looked at the total. Over 151.5 has moved to 153.5 with 87% of the bets and 71% of the cash on the over in this spot. And just keep it short and sweet so we can keep it moving here. This conference, particularly the Horizon League, when you've got a home favorite that's off a win in the conference play in the Horizon League, they're 13-3 to the over. They're smoking the over by 11 points, by the way. So the average yield, the average net that we're seeing in those overs is 162 points per game in those spots. So here we go with this opportunity. I was laughing as I kind of looked at it because as it opened up, 153.5, right before the show popped off, it moved to +110. Here we go now. We've seen it moving again. It's down to -110s for the 153.5s, and now we're seeing 152.5. So I think this kind of tells me that the Sharps are expecting this to be kind of that ceiling number, but I'm not afraid of that. In this case here, I'm looking at it saying, look at these two teams and their averages over the last 10 games. Youngstown State's been averaging 86 points. Oakland's been averaging 77 points. Smash those two together. There we go again with that 163. I was just talking about the average yield in the Horizon League, right on par with it. Last 10 games between, these two teams, Youngstown State's last 10 games have averaged 156 points. Oakland's averaged 152 points. And when these two teams play head to head, they're averaging 158 points. This line being in flux now, the best number we can get is 152.5. I'll take it. This time here, it worked to our favor. I know it's kind of the ceiling number that we've seen out there, but I'm going to go with that Youngstown State. Again, the Horizon League, when you got the home favorite in conference playoff, a win 13-3 to the over this season, smoking that over by 11 points. So I got to jump in and I got to rock with that. That's going to be now 152.5. I'm taking that over. I don't care that it's dropped that single point. So that's going to do it for our college basketball card. And let's see what you guys have to say about that. I know I kind of rapid fired some of this stuff, but Coins has got some UConn over 144.5 in the pocket. Hey, Jacqueline, what's up? Good to see you coming in the chat. My girl Jacqueline out there, chosen one, says, let's go. What up? Let's go. Indeed. Fernando Mendoza. Ian Shaver says, this chat, all killers. You can't spreadsheet your way to profit with these guys. Home Depot's hiring. I agree, man. I love getting involved with you guys. And shout out to our guy, Fernando Mendoza, gifting a Pub Sports membership. Our homie, Fernando. Buddy, we appreciate you and everything that you're doing out there. Appreciate you coming in on the daily, sharing your looks, sharing your feedback, sharing your positive vibes, my guy, Fernando Mendoza, blessing our action tonight. Make sure if you guys catch up and get that membership he's gifted, give him a thank you, and then please renew it the next time around. Joseph Thompson says, I just bet Citadel and NC Greensboro over 133. And Sancho says, Mike, Super Bowl future pick now that the Eagles are out. Let me give that a little thought. I absolutely will share that with you, but I want to bring on our next guest. I asked him to come in early, and then I kept him on ice, and that's not what you do to a player, to a baller, to an OG like our guy, LJ from H-Town. LJ, my homie. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Mike. Can you hear me okay? Is my audio fine?
Yeah, you sound good. How's your
All
day?
right, perfect. Oh, yeah, it's going good, man. Had to go back to work today. We had a little ice storm yesterday in Texas. So, I was off. The roads was kind of damaged, but back on it today. Had to go to work. But, hey, I'm glad I'm here with you. I told you I'll be here with you when I can on Wednesday so we can get this money with this NBA card. So let's get to work and see if we can get these people some money.
Love it, my guy. We've been firing away. I always love having you on Wednesdays. We're blessed to have a nice, lengthy NBA card, and I know that's where you excel. So my favorite spot there, props, sides, and totals. I love all of them, and I know you're going to get us to the green tonight, dude. So looking forward to starting it off. I said at the start of the show, I saw the Giannis factor being out. We're not going to start with that game, but that kind of drew me away because I was in a spot where I was feeling that Cleveland vibe, and I got him the other day. That Cleveland pack came through and cashed for me, but it'll be interesting to see how some of these last-minute injuries have affected these numbers. One game that doesn't seem to be affected by numbers as we kick the card off, we've got Minnesota and the Pistons spot here. This Detroit team did open up as a 13.5-point home dog, 41% of the bets, but 80% of the cash And the books are respecting that sharper money now. They've moved it down a point to 12.5. Then as far as the total, 221.5 is where it opens up. 83% of the bets on the over, but 74% of the cash on the under. And yet here we go. We've got about a 223 out there, situationally depending, LJ. Haven't had a chance to check your card out tonight, but talk to us about this game. How do you think it's going to play out? Did you have a play that you want to lock in on this thing for us? Is there a strategy behind this game that you're looking to pursue?
No, I didn't really get to the window in this game, Dave, simply because Minnesota has a look ahead. They have a national TV game versus Memphis, I believe. Even though John Murray and everybody's out, it's still a national televised game. So I don't know how they're going to be inspired to play today versus Detroit. We already know Detroit's one of the worst teams in the NBA. They're 0-10 at home versus the Western Conference. I mean, they haven't even won a game at home versus the conference, while Minnesota on the road versus the East is 3-5. So they have a losing record as well. So I couldn't get to anything in this, like I've talked to you all the time. Cross conferences, Western, East, you never know what to expect. And Detroit's been playing well as of late. They're 9-1 against the spread in the last 10 games. You see what I'm saying? First quarter and first half. So they've been playing well, and they're 8-1 to their team total their last 9 games. So I don't know. I couldn't get to it. I believe there's more money to be made on the card than trying to dive in to this Minnesota-Detroit game because I don't see any value for us in anything.
Yeah, the total seemed like it was that pros versus Joes scenario with the under probably being a potential look there. 4 of the last 5 Timberwolves games have gone under. 3 of the last 4 Pistons games have gone under. I had a tough time pulling the trigger myself, my guys. Yeah. I did see this number. I saw non-divisional road favorites, 28-3 against the spread if they lost the previous meeting as a favorite and the line shorter than a -3. So very much fits this mold in this 2 teams, but there's another game that fits this criteria tonight that I'm going to take advantage of. But in this case, I'm with you. I just don't want any part of these 2 teams. They're just not teams that they don't excite me. They don't get me rolling and get me, fired up to cash. And, if anything, when I don't know if it's a coin flip. I don't know if that's a fair thing to say, but I'd almost rather have the points. I mean, if you look at the money line, I know that's probably not a fair judge of character in this thing either, but 8% of the bets on the Pistons money line, 57% of the cash on that Pistons money line. So it's gone from plus 730 to plus 550.
Right.
Bigger bets might think that there's a chance that the Pistons can come out of this thing alive, but those could also be some of those guys that just keep firing off on the Pistons and they're just like, I'm going to eventually hit him. I've played them every time. I got to keep it with them, right? I got to keep it with them. I know some buddies like that. They're like, I got to keep going now until it hits. I've committed too much. So we got a bunch of guys in the chat throwing some plays out there, though. Chosen One's got that Cavs first half. Ian Shaber says, Al Cervic, cat for me today as well. Sucks missing the lines. Enjoy your vacay. Of course, our guy, Al Cervic, on vacay, man. Enjoy the vacation. You've earned it, homie. Good for you. Good on you. Have a cocktail on me. Let's go. Let's get it done. Nasty Nate says Celtics second quarter. It's interesting because Nasty Nate, Mr. Trifecta, starting to throw some of those second quarter looks out, LJ. I know we'll talk about that game. Chosen One like the Knicks first half -3.5 and the Mavs +4. We'll talk about those games. Cavs now -1 for the full game, says Smoke and Tree. We talked a little bit about that on the onset of the show, my guy. That scares me a little bit now. I know Giannis is out, but that scares me. I don't feel like we got more value in that game. I feel like we got way less. Obviously, the 4 to the -1, but the fact that Giannis is out, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Noli Knows is out there. What up, Noli? Says Celtics
Noli
tonight. Thanks for dropping in. Noli Knows giving us that trifecta look out of our guy. He says, Nate, my guy, of course. Rocking. Perky Bumps likes North Texas and college hoops. Short college hoops card for you guys, and just by design, again, gave out those plays earlier today. So, got to go back and listen to that show to catch those ones. And frankly, not a lot of those lines have moved, but I did add that Arizona State spot there at -3.5. So Adam Hurley, remember the Lakers are 20-20 when Taurean Prince starts, including a loss to the Spurs. Well, we're going to get to that game. That's an interesting point out there. Before we do, though, 7:30 Eastern, we've got the Orlando Magic, the Atlanta Hawks. This line opened at +3, 43% of the bets, but 51% of the cash now on the Magic +4.5. The total's dropping like a stone here. Opens at 236.5, down to 228.5. 64% of the bets, and 78% banging on this under like a drum. And the books are showing their concern here right now. They've shown that they're potentially vulnerable to a lower scoring game in this one here, LJ. I don't know if you have any thoughts on how to get to the window in this guy. You see on the top, I'm on this Orlando side with the points, but I'm not entirely confident with this plus spot here. What do you think about this game?
No, if I had to make the bet, I'll be with you. I'll be Orlando with the points and the money line because there's no way that the Hawks should be favored at home. I mean, they're 4-14 against the spread at home. I mean, what are we doing, Mike? What are we doing? I mean, come on, seriously. This team is in flux. We heard the Deontay Murray trade rumors, so you never know what to expect with this team. I don't think that the team even likes playing with Trae Young because I watch him play. He pretty much is a ball hog. He takes ridiculous shots. He doesn't pass the ball. I mean, it's just all about him. So who knows what's going on with that team? And the fact that you're 4-14 against the spread at home and you're a favorite, that's crazy to me. But hey, they may know something we don't know because Orlando is 7-3 against the spread their last 10 games on the road. 13-9 against the spread as a road dog. 17-9 against the spread versus the Eastern Conference. So all signs point to Orlando winning this game. But I didn't get to the window because I got a lot more action going on, and I don't like to have a lot, especially, when we have a big card, to chase things. So, but I would lean heavily with you to Orlando plus the 4.5, and I would take them on the money line simply because how good they are against the spread versus the East, especially the Hawks, who is the worst team in the Eastern Conference. So,
it's an interesting take. I think I heard you say that the other night on the live stream too about these guys don't like playing with Trae Young. You said that, and I started I was watching some highlights and some stuff like that the other day, and I started just kind of watching like body language from the team. And, you might be onto something with that take there. I don't know. I thought it was a hot take when you said it. And then I was watching it and I was looking at kind of the results with the points and specifically around the assist category. They don't want anything to do with that guy. He's missing off on his point marks. His assist numbers are going down. The players are averaging less assists throughout. It just seems like there is something to be said for that opportunity. And, you're right. Especially I've started to hear trade rumors now. You got to imagine a team like Atlanta's ready to break it up and dissolve it. I got a couple for you guys here. I like to share some trends. The Orlando Magic's team specific. They're 17-6 against the spread when they're playing a team that averages more than 50 points in the paint per game. That kind of goes to that thing where I was talking about with the assist. Like they're not looking to dish the ball off. They're like, screw you. They're going to play that kind of solo ball out there and try to do it on their own. Not a good spot to be. The Hawks 0-11 against the spread. If they're at home, they're going on the road next, and their opponent has rest as well. So an unrested team getting ready for travel. 0-11 spot for the Hawks out there. And then the last one I had was Atlanta 5-15 against the spread if the team allows less than 50 points in the paint per game out there. So kind of that paint factor canceling each other out, speaking to the potential disgruntled nature of the team. And then the Hawks getting ready to go on the road 0-11. Especially if they don't like each other, that just feels like the right spot to me to say, you know what, these guys, they don't want to be together to begin with. Now they're getting ready to go on the road. They're like, shit, I got to get out of here. Let's just get this thing over with. So I'm on that plus 4.5 then. I feel better about it now after we've talked it out. I was kind of concerned about that to begin with, but I love hearing that you're feeling the same way. Ian Shaver says, Magic not to be trusted, though. Franchises in shambles, stadiums empty at home. Stay off your props on that look out there. There's an interesting.
Well, good thing they're on the road tonight.
Ian Shaver says, we don't have a star. Fernando Mendoza agrees with that one. So I still might be in the minority here. Banchero's awesome, but not filling seats. Yeah, they're still probably 2 or 3 years away from getting back to where they need to be. And that'll give them time to develop with some of those younger guys that they have. But
they have some injury issues too, because Franz Wagner is hurt. He's their best player, So if you got your best player missing, the lineup's different, minutes are different, players are in roles that they're not used to. I mean, it's expected.
And then you look down, like DeAndre Hunter is the big one that's out there, I think, for the Hawks. But yeah, that's kind of a shit game. But I like these shit games because I think there's opportunity to catch these points where I got that Jimmy sickness there. I got that Jimmy-itis in me where it's like these dog fights I want to get involved with because they feel twice as good when you find a way to get that cash. But this next one's an interesting layout for us here. We're San Antonio Spurs, Boston Celtics in Boston. Again, a 7:30 Eastern start. Plus 17.5 where the number opens. Has dropped to 15s. There's still some 16s out there, but 15s kind of floating around now as well. 63% of the bets, 82% of the cash. felt that this was way too many points and they had to jump in on it. And the books are kind of maybe saying they agree. This thing's drop again, 2.5 points from the original open. All the cash coming in on this over. It opened at 238.5, 85% of the bets and 73% of the cash on the over. It's dropped a point though. So we have some reverse line movement with this total, LJ. You get into the window on this game.
I was close. I was very close, Mike. But I came to the decision. I think Boston will want to be up for Denver Friday night at home. That's the game I want to invest Boston with. I'm going to let this one go because San Antonio's a sneaky team, especially against the spread on the road. 7-3 against the spread, last 10 games on the road in the first quarter. So Boston's a good team first quarter, first half, like Nate always mentions. Second quarter, first half, period. They're the best team in the NBA in the first half. So, but like I said, it's San Antonio. Pop, he got his little things he does with his roster that he likes to play mind games, and he benched them the last game, benched the starters to prove a point. You're not hustling. I don't see any effort. So I don't know what to expect this game, man. San Antonio may be up to play this game, and Boston may take a back seat, not taking this component, serious because they're looking ahead at Denver on Friday. I really believe that. So that was the reason why I stayed off. But I'm not going to talk anybody off taking Boston. I wouldn't take the 15.5. But early first quarter, first half, it's good money for Boston recently. But like I said, this is San Antonio. They are horrible. They're one of the worst teams in the NBA. But hey, sometimes you can even catch a dog slipping one day. And I believe San Antonio probably will be in reach of these points throughout this game. So that's the reason why I stayed off.
So strategy for live betting. There's 3 teams that I track out there that have won the first quarter, and then they end up not covering the game when it's a live spread spot. Boston is one of those teams. So to your point about the first quarter, first half, I think that kind of validates that thought process there and saying, if they do get that big lead early, that spread gets inflated from 15. If that thing goes up to like 21 or 22, I think that's a good hammer spot to live line this thing, because it shows that they're one of those 3 teams that does have a losing record against the spread. After those live numbers kind of percolate through the process. So, obviously we've got the Wemby factors out there, the blocks for Wembyana over 2.5 at a plus 116. I thought about trying to get in on that as well. I might try to get a parlay together where I can incorporate some of that stuff, but 7:30 start. So I see our guy, Billy Briscoe. What up, Billy? Gave you a shout out to start the show today with the 4-1 day yesterday. He says, let's go Spurs, make those DFS lineups pop. Yeah, there's an opportunity right in that spot. So shout out to you, my guy. Abel Aces, AD double-double and over 1.5 blocks with the Luka double-double plus 205. Abel A, I'm excited to share what I got for that game with you. Can't wait to show you that. Kelly V says, at Ian, I like gutsy Mayfield, go Bucks. Billy Briz says, Spurs weren't beating Atlanta on MLK Day. You guys love that angle. I got to say that was a nice little angle out there. Kelly says Wemby's hurt. Pop hiding this. Yeah, that might be why it's plus 116. That's a little good insight as well, Kelly. Thanks for keeping us dialed in and ready to roll. Mike says all these numbers are symbolic, not literal. Interesting spots. I'm not sure what he makes of that, but I do like what he said about these players being hurt. When the player's hurt, the team usually covers. I agree. Said that already. We can't disagree. Top Crocodile in the chat says, who the cheap DFS killer tonight? Billy Briz, trying to get some of that news for his DFS lineup out there. Top Crocodile, good to see you. Gerald Jones says facts. Mike says Spurs, a D under then. Yeah, I think that under is kind of what the number shows where this thing should go to. It sounds like, based on what we're seeing with these number movements and lack thereof, everybody's banging this over, expecting points. And we're seeing it drop. So reverse line movement to the under, but another pass here for us. Again, I love that look for the look ahead spot and anticipating what the Celtics schedule has coming up. No play for either LJ or I, but we're going to get into some action here. I am certainly in on this next game. We got the Heat and the Raptors. This line opens at -2, 65% of the bets and 82% of the cash. Pushing that Miami Heat side of things there, and books are showing that concern. 2.5s, now 3s out there. We've got a plus 3s at -110. The total, on the other hand, opens at 226.5, has moved up 0.5 point. We've got 61% of the bets and 63% of the cash. LJ, take it away for us. You getting paid on this game?
Yes, sir, Mike. We got action, and you know how we look at games. Me and you are similar in how we cap. We love trends, we love patterns. So this is one of the things that I've been investing in probably the last couple of months, probably beginning of November. Miami is one of the best first quarter teams in the NBA, Mike, especially on the road. 15-6 against the spread in the first quarter on the road. 6-4 against the spread in the first quarter on the road, their last 10 games. 7-3 against the spread in the first quarter, their last 10 overall. Mind you, the Raptors, 3-7 against the spread in the first quarter at home, their last 10 games. 4-6 against the spread in the first quarter overall. So I believe Miami is going to come out very fast on Toronto. Now, I see that you're plus 3.5 with Toronto. I'm not taking the full game. So we both can cash this because Miami probably will have tired legs because they're on 3 games and 4 and 5 nights, I believe, somewhere around there. So I believe that. That's why I'm taking them early where they do their best damage because I believe the legs will tire out and I believe Toronto will probably win the game at the end. But I'm going to focus on the early part of the game just because this is something that I've been investing in for the past 2 months. So that's how I bet. You know that. And also, the one that you're going to love, Miami is 5-0 against the spread on the road on Wednesdays. So I've been tracking that. I'm going to continue to keep making it until they prove me wrong. So, hey, it is what it is. So take it away because I know you're on Toronto plus the 3.5.
So what you're looking at first quarter, first half?
No, first quarter.
Okay.
I'm just going to take the first quarter. What number you can give me at best number of first quarter for Miami? -0.5, I believe. Last time.
Minus a half's -113. There's -1s at -110. You might as well take the half, right?
Yeah, take the half. Lock me in.
Nice.
Now I say I am taking the full game, but I'm not taking it as the show. I am just full disclosure. I'm going to take it full game just because of the trend on the road on Wednesdays.
I got you. I mean, you gotta go with what you know, and if you've been cashing on it, that's the beauty about it here. I'll tell you, one of the ones that jumped out at me though, the Heat 0-8 against the spread, and they're getting bludgeoned on the spread by 11 points when they're a moderate favorite on the road if they're going home next. We've been taking that home cooking spot, almost like the boys lose a little momentum when they know they got to go back home and handle their personal business as well. So 0-8 spot specific for the Heat, -10.31 points on the full game. I will say you got correlated movement with the line. You got everything moving in the right direction. This just feels like one of those, hard to put the finger on it with this Raptors team. They're so brutal, but there's certain numbers that pop up with these guys that to me feels like you might have to take a shot at it. The other thing about this thing, when it comes to the total, you talk about the fast start. Fast start leads to a lot of fast breaks and fast scores. The overs, when you've got winning teams that are low scoring on the road, they're 135 overall to the over. They've won 14 overs in a row in the spot. So that's a tricky little one there that, may not be for the weak of heart, but the fact that this number opened at 226.5 and it's floating, there's 225.5s, there's 226s, and I see a 227 out there. So could be a potentially higher scoring game. The scoring, the over to me I was debating, do I take the over? Do I take the Toronto side of things? I ultimately wanted the points in my back pocket just because it feels like that home factor for Miami next, coin flippy type of spot. I'll take the home dog, knowing that there might be some scoring in this game, but I'll certainly root for your first quarter action. And then I got to get mine back because you got me that last time with that Memphis head-to-head spot. So I got to get mine back on the full. I can root for your full game on this one.
Let's do it.
Bo Jackson says Philly equals 61. LJ, if the Heat lose this game, they end up 6-1 when they play the 76ers next on the road on a Wednesday. Holy shit.
Hey, he's going to track it like me, like I tell you. Track it. I'll tell you. Yeah. But Lesman just said Siakam traded this morning to the Pacers. Is that true? That's another reason why I was taking the Heat is because teams are unsure of what's going to happen with Siakam. If that's something that's lingering in the locker room, that could throw the mindset off a team, So, I don't know if Siakam was traded this morning.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. To Indiana. Oh my God. Halliburton, Siakam, another score. He has another score. Wow. Hey,
Well, that would support some of that line movement. Then I see 3.5 out there now, so that makes sense. I still
now
feel
I'm
like this is
concerned.
an opportunity. You take out another key cog in that wheel. Somebody's got to step up on that bench. I think somebody's going to want to step up and think they've got some playing time. Anybody know who they got in return for it? I didn't see the trade. Smoke and Trees
No,
confirmed.
I was trying to look it up right now. I didn't see it either.
Yeah, I missed that one entirely. But
Oh, okay. Wolves just said it. Breaking news. It's on ESPN right now.
oh, great, fucking guys.
Okay. Well,
All right. Well, you know what? I'm already convicted to it. So, Bo Jackson says the
Yeah.
Raptors are bigger than Siakam. Yeah, you just don't want to hear about this. This is my agita with this fucking card today, because it's like every spot that I was looking at has got some crazy movement. They got Bruce Brown in return. The shit part about that is they're not going to be able to utilize him tonight anyway. So, my excitement about this particular play has gone down exponentially, but I'm still committed to it. I still think it's that spot. It's more about fading the Heat in this spot for the full game. I like your spot there about the first quarter and starting fast, but Top Crocodile says injuries don't matter, Mike. Top Crocodile, you're preaching to the choir, dude. I'm the fucking guy. I lead the bandwagon of injuries don't matter. Are you kidding me? You guys are all going to be sharp guys in this chat, sharp guys and girls going on to other shows and being like, it don't matter if they're injured. Give it to me anyways. I think that's the evolution that we need to lead here. But let's talk about this next game. We got a big card here still to break down. We've got another 7:30 start. The NBA didn't do us any solids with all these 7:30 starts. We got the Rockets on the road against the New York Knickerbockers, aka the Short Pants. The line opens at 3.5. This one's been moving around. I see 7.5s out there now. 73% of the bets, 93% of the cash on the Knicks. Line moving a ton. This line opened the back number at 217.5. He's banging this under. 43% of the bets, but 80% of the cash on the under is now 223.5. A lot of this number for the under, though, has started coming in later money. So just to be aware, the latest line refresh showed that the under was taking some cash because it's moved 6 points. So just for what it's worth and worth noting out there. But LJ, this Rockets, your Houston Rockets, H-Town's finest, and it's Houston Rockets in play. What are you doing tonight with this game?
I haven't bet the Rockets since Tyrone Eason has been out of the lineup. Mike, he's very important. He's our fourth leading scorer coming off our bench. He's our number one sixth man, and he gets rebounds as well. So he's the effort guy that I like to have in the lineup. So without him, I'm just not betting the Rockets right now, especially on the road, because they haven't even covered against the spread on the road versus the East so far all year. So it's nothing that I'm going to invest in. Now, if I just want to bet against my team, of course I would be on the Knicks minus the 6.5, because they're 4-1 against the spread at home versus the West. They're playing good since they had OG. So I believe that the coach, he has a lot of different options now. The fact that OG can be the primary defender on that team and guard the other best player on the team. He can switch. He can play 2 all the way up to probably 4, maybe 5 if he has to. So he's a Swiss Army knife in that defense that the coach for the Knicks can take advantage of. But as far as just betting the game, I mean, if Brunson is back, I'm pretty sure the Knicks are going to take care of business. I don't know how healthy he is. And, of course, Randall, you can take his props as well. He's been cashing on his PRA for the most part. But to come to a side, I just couldn't, Mike. The Rockets aren't, they're not a good team right now. And especially on the road versus the East is where they play their worst ball. So I'm just going to lay off, wait till they come back home, see if I can get some better matchups at home. But as far as on the road, I can't invest in the Rockets right now, so I pass.
And this is another example. This number's just moved so many points from the original that, it doesn't necessarily put me on the other side of it here. But now I see 7.5s out there with the Rockets. Like, the Knicks, granted, the Garden and their thing and everything else that goes along with it, but they didn't look good in that Orlando game. They were never inside of the number right from the initial tip off of that game. So, that was a home game. So here they are with their second, but they've kind of been on that win one, lose one spot right now. A little streaky. They played at Dallas. They lose 128-124. They play at Memphis. They do win 106-94, but we obviously know Memphis is kind of real and trying to figure out what they're going to do with the rest of the season. And then they go back home and they lose to Orlando. So I guess the benefit there is they got the second home game, and the Rockets have just been on a crazy road trip. You got
Yep.
At Miami, loss. At Chicago, loss. At Detroit, loss. At Boston, loss. At Philadelphia, loss. And the interesting part about some of these spots here between Chicago, Detroit, Boston, and Philadelphia, it's cold as shit, and there's a lot of snow flying around. That means your travel's delayed. You not only are you on an extended road trip, but you're dealing with jet lag. You're dealing with sitting at terminals. You're staying on the tarmac. It just disrupts the entirety of your schedule. I would lean to the Knicks at that point, but it's just not anything I can pull the trigger on. Again, cold and snowy the last week all across the Northeast. That's where they've been playing. Difficult spot to get up for that thing. Wouldn't be mad at Fred VanVleet's rebound spot there. He likes to play in the Garden, but just a tough spot. Kelly V says Houston over 5 against the spread on the road. 0-5 against the spread on the road. Knicks Brunson in. Don't bet his points equal injury under Brunson points if I have the balls. Interesting spot for our girl. Kelly. So difficult spot here to get going, but I know we got some plays lined up here for this second half of the card. Let's talk about this Bucks and Cavs game. We kind of talked about it at the onset of the show. You know, we looked at the Giannis factor, Giannis being out of this game. Bucks opened up at -4.5. They're now +1. 63%. It's worthless to even talk about the spreads here. 63% of the bets and 61% of the cash. The line movement, those truly stricken around the Giannis factor. They pulled it down and it dropped 5 points from there. The total, though, 238.5 has dropped to 235s. 5 and 4, 57% of the bets, 57% of the cash on the under. And interesting spot, LJ. Take it away for us.
Yeah, Mike, I was on the Cavs first half. That's going to be my play simply because they played very well in the first half. I mean, that's been an auto bet pretty much. I mean, I think Dutch has been on it as well. He mentioned it on a couple of shows, but 7-3 against the spread in the first half, their last 10 games at home. Mind you, the Bucks, they don't play very well in the first half on the road. 2-6-1 against the spread, their last 10 games in the first half on the road. Now, the Bucks play better at home, in my opinion. They're not the same team as we saw these couple of years. I believe that Damian Lillard trade took a lot out of that roster. And also, I believe that a lot of those players don't like the coach. I believe that Giannis is the one that wanted that coach to come on, but everybody else, they wasn't in line to get this coach. So some turmoil in the locker room as well. So I just peep those type of things. I listen to press conferences. Like you say, look at body language. A lot of things you can tell by just observing things because you can't lie when it comes to body and cohesiveness and with your team. So the Bucks, they're not the same team, especially not on the road. So I'd rather take advantage of the Cavs right now because they are playing their best ball. You know, Levert, I just saw someone put in the chat. He's been ruled in, so he's coming off your bench, giving you an extra 15 to 20 points. So Cavs are rolling right now. Jared Allen, double-double. That's another investment he's probably juiced now because I think he's had it in 13 straight games. So it's probably a juice number right now. I don't know where it is, but his rebounds, if it's like at 11.5, I think that's good money because he's averaged like 12 his last 4 or 5 games. So those are just some things to look at, but I'm definitely making official Cavs first half. Whatever best number you can get me at.
Cavs first half. I was just looking at double is juiced. It's like -270 right now. So
yeah.
Cavs first half minus a half is -104. Or you can catch the money line at -112.
I'll do money line. Let's do money line. Swallow those points, man. Cavs are playing well, especially in the first half. So that's something I've been investing in as well past couple of games. So
I've been evaluating that myself. Like, is it the 8 to 9 cents? Is it worth taking the minus a half if you get the push? To me, it's low juice, and it's not like you're saying it's -148 to catch that thing. It's a difference of 8 cents against the half to have that push in play, and it's still within that. I always look at that -110. At least in my head, everybody gambles differently, but at least in my head, the -110 is that kind of reasonable number. And if I can flirt around that line, then I may have to jump in on that. But again, my play on the top, the Cavs +4 is no longer available. So I'm gonna cancel that one for sure. I've got it already, but if you can get it, go get it. But I can't endorse it. It's not going to be an official show play because it's not the right number that's out there. And again, I don't want to die on the hill with this thing, but it's just the spot where I feel like this past 2 seasons, we heard a ton of guys going on shows that had to wait. I gotta wait. Like this fucking game of waiting. These numbers are baked into there. So I feel very confidently that this spot does move enough that
Yep.
Doesn't change your cap on this first half because the Bucks don't, the way they start isn't conducive to getting the job done. But at the same time, big Giannis movement out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see them come back and win this game. And everybody thinks that, it's a great spot. They'll probably even open up live betting opportunities all the way through the end of the third quarter. And the fourth quarter will look like that Suns game yesterday and screw everybody on it. So nothing that I'm excited about getting involved in from that regard. I do like that first half spot though. I may have to figure out a way to get that in the game. So we've got LJ lockdown, Cleveland first half -112. And then True Teller says he's got the first quarter plus a half, first half +2, 4.5 on the money lines. Yeah. I mean, that's 5 cap bets. I'm going to root for you, True Teller, because I'm with you. Smoking Tree says, get them bags. Hell yeah, man. Catch that best of that number, and you're on your way. But let's go. Let's keep it rolling. That's just disappointment with kind of this with what we've seen with especially the Giannis factor. I love that Cleveland spot. We talked about Cleveland the other day, hammered away on them, and it was like, oh well, they're injured.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have been injured all season. There's no new injury here. They've been finding a way to deal with that adversity, LJ, and they're not stopping them with it. So that being said, though, perfect timing. I just got to notice Luka is going to play, so that's an official spot that just came across.
Figure that it was baked into the line as well.
There you go. Starting to forecast and capture these numbers in the right spot. So let's talk about this next game. We've got the Hornets. This is an 8 p.m. Eastern start. We've got the Hornets and the Pelicans. Another big spread, the +12. You guys know from the last time I bet on the Hornets, my feelings about that side of things. 35% of the bets, but 77% of the cash on the Hornets. Interesting. They love this road dog with all these points, and it's not moving the line. The line opens at 231 on the back number, dropped to 229.5. 66% of the bets, 70% of the cash on the under, and that is moving. That has moved 2 points. So interesting thoughts there around the total. We're seeing that the steam is coming in on the under. It's showing concern. But the bigger money's betting on the Hornets, the sharper cash traditionally, betting on the Hornets, not showing concern in the line, LJ. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I'm not betting on the Hornets. They're one of the worst teams in the NBA, as we know. I don't care if LaMelo Ball has came back. I mean, I just don't believe they're in any type of inspiration of winning games. I just believe they're out there getting checks, making money, being happy they're in the NBA for the most part. And I'm going to take advantage of that today versus a team that's been outstanding in the first half. It's probably, besides Boston and the Cavs, the Pelicans have been one of the best teams in the first half all year, especially at home. So we're going to ride the wave again, Dave. Not Dave, I'm sorry, Mike. 13-4-1 against the spread in the first half, their last 18 games. So we're doing first half -7.5. Hey, it's a big number. I get it, ladies and gentlemen, but the Hornets are ass, especially in the first half, and they're on the road. So I just believe that the Pelicans are going to be at home today, inspired enough to get a win, because I do believe they've lost 2 out of the last 3 games. I believe so. I'm not sure. Y'all can fact check me on that, but I like the fact they're back home. Now, we're on the road. I get it. First home game, coming off a road trip. Hey, I get all of that. That's one of the spots that I usually fade, but it's the Hornets and the Pelicans are at home. So I'm going to fade that trend, and I'm going to take advantage of the first half with the Pelicans simply because of how well they've been doing in the first half all year. So first half -7.5. If you can give me a better number, hey, do it. But that's my number right there.
I got 7s at -112 on DK. I've got 7.5s at -104 on FanDuel.
I mean, I'll stick to the 7.5.
Okay.
It's all good. Yeah. Ain't no difference.
I like that. I might have to tell you on that. Yeah, I didn't want to lead you earlier by saying the Charlotte Hornets have made my shit list, but I've been trying to catch the right spot to catch those guys, and there just isn't one. They're just shit teams. So there we go. Kelly V says, Mike, your first half New Orleans bet. Kelly, I was thinking about tailing my guy LJ on that one there because I love what he said too with the kind of struggle in the last couple, but now they're back home in this spot. And I think it's a great opportunity to catch them. We know they just had that Herculean road trip out there. Looks like our guy T says LaMelo ball spot tonight for our guy T out there. Smoking Tree says rest in paradise too. Yeah, that was difficult. Heart attack last night at the team dinner. Can't imagine the right thing to do is to cancel that game. Prayers and thoughts to his family and everybody in the Golden State situation. Not something you want to see. Just a bad thing all around. The guy was young too, wasn't he? 34 years old. Is that what I saw?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. I didn't catch his age.
I thought he was, maybe I'm making it 34. I thought he seemed young. In retrospect, when I was comparing against my age, I was like, man, he seems like he's a young man out there. Kelly V, though, says Zion should have points galore. I like that Zion spot tonight. 46. Yep. Thanks, Broken Tree. I knew he was young. 34 is a little bit younger, but yeah, 40s. That's just a bad spot to be. It's thoughts and prayers to his family and everybody that's associated with the Golden State Warriors, and certainly not a spot you want to see at all. So difficult situation. Right thing to do is to cancel that game. Not. I get in an uproar about a bunch of those things when weather and stuff like that. They're already at the stadiums, but in that case, that was the right thing to do. So anyhow, thoughts and prayers.
I have a prop in this game too, Mike. I wanted to mention. I'm glad I remembered it. I'm gonna take CJ McCollum over 3.5 threes. I have it at plus 124. They have 2.5 minus 176. So I'm gonna take that as well, but I'm gonna jump it up to 3.5. Just because he's back home. And I like taking players that haven't hit their prop in a couple of games. He's been on the road. He hasn't hit it in like 2 or 3 games, but he was hitting in like 4 or 5 straight before that. So I'm going to take a shot. He's back home. He's comfortable. He knows that court. And the Hornets don't play no defense at all. So I'm going to take a shot, CJ McCollum, over 3.5 threes. And I said plus 124. Lock it in.
I like that look. Like the look. I like that too, because the over 2.5 is juiced. So taking that step up to bring that juice down helps the ROI. Smoking Trees likes that prop too. Perky Bumps like Zion over 21 points is a max bet. Somebody was telling me a little bit about the Zion ladder play out there. They were saying, start at the 20 and work your way up to 30 with Zion. It's amazing that we're this deep in the season and he's reasonably healthy still. So, shout out to Zion getting it done. His number right now, 22.5 on his props. I'm going to have to give that game a little look-see because there might be an opportunity for some same game action. I like that first half. I like what I'm hearing out of the McCollum spot. I like the Zion factor as well. And I got a little time to figure it out. So, that's good work there. That's everybody working together to come up with a way to get these books. That's what this is all about.
Yep.
I love all you guys are doing a great job in the chat too, between the trade news, the injury updates, changes in lineups. That's all the stuff that helps us work together to get this job done. So that's what it's all about. And I appreciate you guys in the chat there sharing your looks as well. Let's go. If you haven't hit the like button yet, by the way, share that like button for us. Help everybody know what's going on here. You guys are doing way too much work not to be hitting that like button. Let them know. I think we can. Perky says he thinks he can go for 30 tonight. I don't disagree. I think it's a good opportunity, especially the one thing I was going to share. I was conflicted about this total. The New Orleans Pelicans 14-0 to the under when they're at least a 9-point favorite. So they played some D. That's what that tells me is they play D out there. Big favorite opportunity. I did see a trend. I texted LJ about it this earlier today. I said, when the Hornets have I forgot who the team was that's on deck. When they have a team on deck, they're 13-0 to the over. But I do like some of these plays you guys have thrown out there, and I just couldn't pull the trigger on this game particularly. So interesting. But Ian Shavers has smashed a like. Let's go, you guys. Let's talk about this next game because I wanted to have a little fun with this one. And now here we go. I'm going to have to reconstruct this because the numbers, now the Luka news comes in. The numbers have gotten a little better. So this Lakers line opens at -3. It's down to -2s, 49% of the bets and 35% of the cash on the Lakers. Line's dropping. But again, the line dropping is probably in relation specifically to Luka being in this game. The back number, 239.5, shot up to 245.5, 68% of the bets, 63% of the cash on this Dallas team getting points. LJ, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I didn't cap it just because Luka wasn't ruled in. I don't bet Dallas without Luka. But if I had to make a bet, I see where the money is because the Lakers are 10-4 against the spread at home versus the Western Conference. So they play well in this spot. Now, I don't know specifically this spot versus Dallas. I haven't been betting the Lakers because LeBron, he's been in and out of the lineup. He picks and chooses when he wants to play, So I just don't like, and like you just mentioned with the Taurean Prince, I don't even think he's a starter. Like Torian Prince and Cam Reddish. Why are they even starting on the Lakers? They don't give them any type of production. You can't cancel out when the other team is scoring on your player. He ain't giving you nothing. Like Lakers are, they only probably got what 2 or 3 players that can put the ball in the bucket, in my opinion. And Dallas, like I said, Kyrie's been playing well. He's been putting up 40. But now if Luka comes back, that takes away the cohesiveness of that lineup because they were playing well with Luka out of the lineup. Everybody was sharing the ball, getting their opportunities. But hey, when Luka comes in, guess what? He hogs the ball. He takes step back threes. He doesn't run any type of offense. These guys are just standing around in the corner waiting for Luka to pass him the ball. Great. He's a great passer and he gets the assist, but I just like team ball more about it. But hey, it may be a good game. I didn't have nothing invested in it, but hey, we'll be on live tonight. Maybe we could come up with some money watching it live, or hey, it's the same game parlay, man. Never know.
I just got to notice DraftKings was having some issues with their books last night. So they came through and they gave me a nice little $250 bonus bet. When I was trying to update this thing, I was like, whoa, there it is. There's a nice little bonus bet there.
There you go.
So I did it, this number I was checking this number out because it's gotten better since the Luka news came into play here. So I went with the Luka 30 points or more, 80, 25 points or more, and I got the Lakers on the money line. I get it. I get the numbers dropping, but again, we know why that number's dropping. If you can explain why the numbers dropping, then at least there's you're not just trying to be an asshole, trying to fade the steam. And it's a plus 258 spot. And, kind of the X's and O's behind it. I love to have a little fun with these types of spots here. You can easily, if you put a unit on it, if you drop, say you drop $100 on it to win 258 in this case, you can live bet yourself out of that thing if it's not going in your direction. But, we cashed that kick one last night. Big sun spot out there in a similar spot. I love to have fun with these types of things, to just get creative and try to throw it together. And when you look at this thing, this for me is the AD. We get the every other spot. We get the LeBron has a game, then AD has a game. Mm-hmm. In this game, I go with the AD factor. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the Mavericks stink against centers. They're terrible. And it comes to rebounding out there. They're like one of the worst teams I almost added the rebounding spot for Luka. For AD, but it's like the options were 10 plus, 12 plus, or you got to get up to like 14 plus for that thing to show some return. And then by doing this thing here, his total, the AD point spot is 27.5. This brings it down a couple of points. So I like the 25 plus, brings it down 3 points for me in that spot because we can push at the 25 and it's still going to count for us. And he's covered that number 4 times this month. So I felt like that was a decent opportunity. Also, Dallas allows the second most points to the opposing centers out there. So being that AD's, you could argue that he's a top 5 center in the NBA. I thought it was a big opportunity to take advantage of that. And then, of course, Luka, do I need to say why I took his 30-plus points? It's the Lakers. He wants to show up and show out in this opportunity. That's why he's playing. That's why I expected him to be playing as well. And it's a plus 258 opportunity to, again, have a little fun and root for just points. Just straight points is all I want to see in this game. It doesn't matter to me how they get there. Just get these points on the board, and hopefully the Lakers get it done. One of the trends that I was tracking there doesn't really follow suit any longer because this line has moved, but it was around the home favorites in a 2 straight loss situation. So it was a bounce back opportunity for the Lakers against these guys. But again, the money line for me, just the opportunity. It's now plus 258 on DK. Shop around. You might be able to catch a better number for show purposes. That's what I will use. 25 plus for for AD, 30 plus for Luka, and the LA Lakers at plus 258. So
I like it. I like it.
A little fun, just a little something to kind of, give me some entertainment along the way. And let's bring it home here. We got the last game on the night. Then we got them boys, Dutch and Dabby and company, all about the hoops. I know LJ is going to get over there as well. I'm going to do my best to get on there with them fellas. We got this Nets and Blazers game. Last game on the card because of the issues with Golden State out there. Smoking Tree says hard to trust the Lake Show lately. I don't disagree with that. Smoking Tree. But I don't want to get involved with the points. I just want that money line. Anyhow, we got this Nets and Trailblazer spot. Opens up at -5. Now -6.5. 41% of the bets and 73% of the cash on the Nets. We got the back number 224.5 has dropped. Pros versus Joe situation. We're down to 221s, 3.5 points. 73% of the bets on the over, 80% of the cash on the under in a lower scoring game. So, with this spot, LJ, I'm very curious to hear if you're gonna, dive into this one or not. But I'll share a play that I have at the end as well.
Hey, I'll let you have it because both of these teams are at the bottom of the league, in my opinion. Now, granted, Brooklyn is plays much better at home than they do on the road. So I'm not going to take anything with Brooklyn on the road. In Portland, we already know. They're probably one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NBA, especially first quarter, first half. So I fade Portland pretty much every first quarter. I get a chance, but not tonight because Brooklyn, they're worse on the spread in the first quarter on the road. So Portland could easily win this game. I have no play, so I'll let you have it.
Yeah, True Teller says 1-800-GAMBLER if you bet this game. Well, you know
For
what?
real.
I might have a problem. I might have the itch, but it's 10 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to get out there and play this bitch. How about that? I'm going to rock this thing. I'm going to take that -6.5. Made that up on the fly. You guys are welcome. That's a real treat for you. I look at this one, though. The Blazers have lost each of their last 8 home games against the Eastern Conference. LJ, you talked about that earlier in the show, the East versus West situations. The Nets have covered the spread in 5 of their last 6 road games against the Blazers. This building doesn't scare them. They get it done. And this is that other spot that I referenced at the top of the show. Non-divisional road favorites are 28-3 against the spread. If they lost the previous meetings, a favorite shorter than a -3. So the fact that we've got the number correlating with the line movement, we've got the under as well now. We've got the bigger bets pressing on the under and Vegas showing their concern on the under to me is all green lights for me to jump in and take this 1-800-GAMBLERS game. So I'm going to rock it. It's going to be, I dropped off the Cavs game at +4 because I didn't want to jump in on that -1, but I am going to jump in on the Nets -6.5. Also, I had the Nets as the first game of the rollover challenge. LJ, I started a rollover challenge this week, and I didn't get out of the first leg of it, but I had the Nets money line. They lost that game in overtime, and that was definitely some disappointment. At this point, though, I think that was a home situation. I liked what they had going on. This is a road situation that I like what they've got going on in this case, specifically because of how they compete against Portland and that 28-3 spot. So green light me. I'm going to go with these Nets. I'm going to take that gamble. Now -6.5. I like the 6 earlier, but it's going to be an official late ad for me on the show as well. What do you think, LJ? We got through this thing.
Yeah, man. Look like we're going to have a nice little night. We're going to watch it live. We're going to jump right on all about the hoops with Dutch and Cap, a couple of minutes. So, hey, man, looking forward to a good night so we can make some money with this NBA.
Let's go. Let's go. I got you down. I got you Miami first quarter -0.5 at -113. Cleveland first half at -112. New Orleans first half -7.5 at -104. And the CJ McCollum over 3.5 threes at +124. Did I get them all?
Sounds good to me. Sounds good.
Let's go, my guy. Tell them what you got cooking. Tell them where they can find you. All about our guy, LJ, at Goat Town. LJ from Goat Town out there. Our boy rocking and rolling with us on Wednesdays.
Yeah, man. They can find me on Twitter, or as they say, X as of days, at LJ Sports Media. Find me on all social media, LJ from Houston. Follow me, Raw Words Podcast on YouTube, streaming right now. And of course, all the Pub Sports platforms. Like I just mentioned, all about the hoops coming up right after this show. We're going to dive into the NBA card a little bit more, give out our live plays. We got Dutch, we got Dab, we got Wham, I believe he's going to join us. Hey, maybe Mike will make an appearance. We all trying to get on there and make some cash, man. So this is what we love to do. So, hey, if y'all want to make some money, follow some NBA tonight, tune in to Pub Sports Radio tonight so we can make some money, my guys.
LJ, you're the man. I'll be seeing you soon. I'm sure I'll be up there in a little bit there. I'm going to take a little breather, grab a little grub, and then make a cocktail and see what we can't do to get out there and beat them books up. So appreciate you, as always, my guy on Wednesdays, rocking with us out there. LJ doing his thing, giving us them looks out there to cook the books, guys. Hope you have a great night, LJ. Good luck on your bets. And good luck to everybody else out there in the chat. Truth Teller, Ian Shaver, Smoking Tree, Nasty Nate likes that Celtics -14. LJ, are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised at all.
Kelly D, let's go. Everybody rocking and rolling with us tonight. You guys did a great job in the chat, doing your thing, sharing that insight, helping us all make better informed decisions. And that's what this show and this community is all about. Abel A, rocking, Big Scott 510, Ian Shaver, Perky Bumps. You guys rock and roll, Ricky Bobby, King Al. Everybody showed up and showed out tonight. Now it's all about going out there and getting paid. Shout out to T back there on the ones and twos. Keeping it tight and right for everybody. If you haven't become a member, we got new member levels, baby. Go out there, gold membership. Go out, get your opportunity to win some cash on the old spin a wheel opportunity. New member show incentives. We got all about the hoops next with them boys, Dabby and Dutch. You go tell them Pimp Slap sent you. I'll see you guys soon, and good luck tomorrow, 6 p.m., same time, same place. Let's get that cash, baby.
Let's get